What's up, everybody? Tracy Rayum here with 321 Sportscast, another episode of the Summer Series 2024. In studio tonight, I have Tyler Costin, formerly of the Viera Hawks basketball team. What's up, Tyler?
What's up?
Hey, good to see you, man. I appreciate you taking a little bit of time. So it's been a busy summer for you. Have some basketball, some downsets, some setbacks, things like that. But let's just dig right in. So you're coming off a little Achilles injury, right?
Yeah, just, stuff happens in basketball. You play every day, it's bound to happen.
But it's nothing major.
Nothing major.
Just something that's kind of had you just taking care of yourself and limiting you a little bit.
Just a little bit.
So let's go back, man. Y'all had a good run your senior year at Viera High School. Tell us about that year in particular and what you missed most about that year.
I definitely miss being around the guys the most. They're some of the best group of kids I've been around. They always have my back. They tell me to keep shooting even if it's an off night. And I know that I can go to war with them and against whoever, beat some really good teams like Lakeland, ended up being 19-2. Like, if we're clicking together, it's a really good team.
So they when you say they had your back and told you to keep shooting, even if you were just off, they're like, hey,
yeah, they know,
they believed in you.
Yeah, they understand how much work I put in. So
okay, well, tell me now. You went from Viera High School and you played 1 year at Flagler, a Division II college right up the road. What was that transition like, going from high school to college level basketball?
Yeah, figuring out that you're not the guy when you get to your next level is something that's humbling. Even realizing like just how good people are at Division II level. These kids are being paid to go there. They're scholarship players, and they're scholarship players for a reason. It's a whole new level.
Now, when you say humbling, watching you in high school, you were the best shooter in Brevard that year, one of the best shooters in the last 5 to 10 years from around here. When you got to the college level, were they shooting just as good, or were they just bigger physically, taller, stuff
I mean,
like that?
you have the bigger and like more physical, but the problem is they all can shoot. Like, they all have the green light to shoot, and they're expected to hit 30, 35% if they're big guys. I mean, and guards are expected 40% shooters.
So that's a great lesson for any high school kids coming out of Brevard, is to stay humble, because when you think you're great, you go to school like Flagler, right up the road, and just everybody's very good. You're moving on now. You've just committed. You're going to be headed up to beautiful Massachusetts to play at a school called Lasell University. You excited?
Yes, sir. It's definitely a change in scenery for sure.
Well, yeah.
St. Augustine's it's a great place to live, and it's hot, warm usually, but Massachusetts, it's kind of cold.
Okay.
But I'm ready for it.
And a little bit of history there. Your dad played at Lasell, right? So you're going to be following in the old man's footsteps.
Yep. Some could say,
and
but
he's got his name around there with some shooting records and stuff, but you're getting ready to eliminate all those records.
We're to break them, for sure.
We're going to put Tyler on those banners and stuff like that. So you've been playing basketball your whole life. You said you started at a very early age.
Since you could sign up since you were a kid to be in whatever YMCA, any leagues, rec leagues, always were in those.
Now, why basketball? You said you played football, baseball, other sports. What is it about the sport of basketball that you fell in love with?
I think I got hit one too many times too hard in football, so that was kind of the end of that. But, we're all here for that. And, I mean, basketball is just something I fell in love with ever since Viera rec leagues. I was always playing those down at Grant Street. Just, I love the competitive vibe that you can have from it. And figuring out I was a good shooter was also fun. And it's just something I like to perfect. Shooting, it's an art of basketball, and there's a lot more things, but figuring out how to shoot has just been something I've always wanted to perfect.
Okay. Is there a particular shooter that you try to mimic?
I mean, I feel like the general answer would be Steph Curry, right? But
man, he's amazing.
That's a different kind. So I'd say, Klay Thompson has a beautiful shot.
He's my favorite player.
There's reasons why he's at 37 and a quarter. And takes 11 dribbles for 60 points. He's right on. There's the memes of him.
Quick release too, man.
Yeah, up high, nice and.
What do you think about him going to the Dallas Mavericks? Good for the Mavericks. Good for him.
Good for the Mavericks. They needed. I don't know who watched the NBA Finals, but they had nobody to stretch the floor. It was Luka and Kyrie kind of going off with the ball, and Derrick Jones Jr. is a great player, but he wasn't stretching the floor for them. So getting someone like Klay is definitely a big move for them.
I can't wait to watch Klay. I think he's going to be rejuvenated, a little fresh start.
Yeah, just
a couple more good years left in him.
I think he's got 2-3 good more years in it.
I think it worked out well for both teams. Golden State will move on and be just fine. What's one of the biggest moments of your career?
I have probably two. I think Martin County, it was an away game, so not a lot of people were there, but they beat us at home in the district finals, and we got another chance to play them right after the first round of regionals, and we went in there and tore their place down.
How'd you do that game? In the regional game, did you light it up, or
yeah,
did you have to rely
that
on
was
your
also
teammates?
a big thing. I didn't play too well in the district finals game. I think I had like 5 points, didn't shoot the ball well. They came in and they were like, don't let him shoot, and I kind of didn't take that too well, but you know, when you go into regionals, that could be your last game, and it just something was clicking that day, and I think I had like 18 maybe.
What was the second night? You said there was two moments you can think of.
Holy Trinity was my second game of my senior season, and I didn't have a great first half. You know, I missed a couple of shots back with my old team, and everybody just trusted me. Coaches and teammates trusted me. They told me to keep shooting, and then I ended up scoring, I think, 19 in the second half.
That's a pretty good half.
So,
and you had just transferred from Holy Trinity, so some of your old buddies were on that team.
Yeah. And
so that was extra motivation. You wanted to
just, you know, have a good game, start the season off good. So.
Okay, hey, a personal battle within the team battle. Nothing wrong with that. What's the biggest strength of your game?
Shooting the basketball is definitely the biggest strength.
Pure shooter.
Just, I mean, off the dribble shooting comes along with shooting, but I mean, catch and shoot is just always been my strongest, is what I've worked on the most.
Are you having to move a lot? Like, you know, Steph Curry's constantly running around. Yeah. Do teams that you've played against know you're a shooter and they're like guarding you for that, so you got to work?
So you got to, I mean, being the shooter is definitely like the biggest part of shooting, obviously, but nobody talks about setting screens, getting open, down screening, and learning how to read screens, whether you should curl or pop. It's a lot more than just actually shooting. So.
And you got to be physically fit, because there's so much that goes into off-ball movement.
Yeah.
They just see you when you get the ball and shoot, and they're like, you hit it or you missed it.
But they don't see the down screens, running off two screens, stuff like that. So.
What about flaring off the screen?
Flaring screens.
Okay, don't be flaring out now. What is one of the weaknesses of your game that you're working on extremely hard as you prepare for college? Something you got to work on?
I definitely got to work on ball handling. My senior year, we had tremendous ball handlers. We had Justin, Witherspoon, Amir, Kamar, great ball handlers, so I kind of let them do their thing. With me on the court, it helped stretch the floor. They were able to get down, you know, and they had to pick their poison.
Okay.
So, I mean, I didn't have a big opportunity to handle the ball in high school, so it's been something I've been working on every day, trying to get better at.
Now, I know you're limited right now with the fragile Achilles, but when you're in full training mode, how many shots a day are you getting up? Like, these kids, you know, that are working now, they might shoot around for 30 minutes and think they put in a good workout. I know that you shoot around a little bit more than that. What's a good number to say this is how many touches I'm getting up?
Well, at the level that I'm shooting at, it's usually expected for 500 shots a day is the expectation. Probably at least 5 days a week. You don't have to because you have to work on other parts of your game. You can't just get up 500 shots and call it. So, I mean, if you get up 400 to 500 shots 5 days a week, and then you have ball handling, stuff like that, one dribble pull-ups, like, you need to incorporate that into your game is what I found out getting into college. But that's something I'd probably say I'm around is 400 to 500.
And you're willing to do that when people aren't looking, right? When it's not practice, you're maybe not at fast phenom, but the extra is just grabbing the ball and
They
shooting.
don't count your shots in practice. Well, obviously you can't really. You're in practice, you should be focused on practice, not how many shots you put up. So
yeah. So what's the ultimate goal for basketball in your life? Do you want to go past college, or is college going to be it for you?
I mean, I just want to have a great college career. I mean, who knows what can happen after college, but I mean, I think that might be the end after, which is okay. Some people think you have to get to the pros, and it's not all about that. So I just want to have a great college career.
Man, if you make the NBA first round draft pick, this would be a story. I'm calling it right now. First round lottery draft pick.
Maybe.
What if I'm right, man? This would be the best interview of all time. All right, so going off to college, you're already 1 year in, but what are you studying in college?
I'm studying to be an accountant, so that's something new. I changed my major from last year, so I'm starting to be an accountant.
So you gotta love numbers, huh?
I love math.
But your favorite class is
History. I had a fun time in history. I like learning about. I also like learning about other governments. So comparing governments is something I took this year, which was fun. But
history was my worst class.
Really?
I don't think I ever even stayed awake for one class in high school. Sorry, teachers at Rockledge.
People say that it's like a math and history kind of go along, and then reading and science go along. But
good for you, man, because that's a tough one. You got a favorite athlete?
My favorite athlete by far, not close, is Isaiah Thomas. I think it was maybe his 17-18 season, maybe 18-19. Unstoppable. 5'9" guard. I mean,
he was a one-hit wonder, man.
No,
once they caught on to him, he was done. He doesn't even play anymore, does he? I remember the season. He was awesome for like a 2-year stretch.
Yeah.
Then he had an injury too, I think.
Yeah.
So
well, he got traded too. Boston. I'll never forgive Boston for that, ever.
When I hear Isaiah Thomas, for all you old dogs out there, I'm thinking Detroit Pistons, 1980s and 90s.
He was cool, but he was no Isaiah Thomas.
The real Isaiah Thomas. That's debatable. What about a favorite food? What do you like to eat?
Pasta is something, I mean, you can load it with, protein, chicken, steak, so.
Pasta seems to be a popular answer among the athletes.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite place, or is it home cooking?
Home cooked. My dad does it the best. He makes the best pasta. So.
Oh man, big shout out to Eric. He's a chef, huh?
Yeah, he knows how to do it.
All right, next time you cook, Mr. Eric, a little bit extra in a Rubbermaid container.
Yeah, I'll bring it over here.
Hook your boy. Oh yeah, I'm gonna hold you up to that, by the way.
Right.
And I'm gonna piece of bread with some butter on it if he's got any of that garlic bread going or something like that. What are some of your hobbies when you're not playing basketball or doing schoolwork?
I just weightlifting. Some consider that a hobby. Some say it's just with basketball. I think it's a hobby because I enjoy doing it even when I'm hurt.
Okay.
Weightlifting, and then playing video games. Pretty standard for your average kid.
Well, the video game world's become very ultra competitive.
Yeah.
And what are the games you play? I'm sure they're competitive.
Madden is a big game that I've been playing, and then the new NCAA has just came out a day ago.
Okay, so you haven't had enough time in Madden to see where you compare. But let's talk Madden real quick.
Yeah.
If you were to take yourself and all your buddies that you grew up with in Vieira or elsewhere that you played Madden with, where do you rank in terms of percentage?
I'm the best Madden player out of all of my friends that I've played.
Oh man,
nobody comes close to me.
If you're one of his buddies that plays Madden with you, he's calling you out right now that you cannot touch him.
Yeah. What
team are you picking if you start a game with somebody?
Madden 24, I'm picking the Bengals. Joe Burrow has some great abilities. I try not to give my sauce away, but he's got some abilities that no other quarterback has. Jamar Chase gets open almost any time.
So the Bengals, I don't play, but if I start playing, I might have to steal your sauce.
Yeah.
Does Joe Burrow, do they have a cigar in the game?
No, they don't. Not too realistic.
So no, we were talking off camera about the new NCAA game, and this is super cool. Big shout out to one of your best friends, Sean Atkins, right?
Yep.
Doing big things over there at USF, and we followed his story and how he's the underdog, just doing some super cool things.
Unexpected,
he's on the new NCAA football, so you're playing using him.
Yeah, it's just, it feels just weird that you can play. Even kids I went to middle school with, Virgil I went to middle school with,
Swipe, Marshall.
Yeah, it doesn't, because
Darius Tennyson I think is in there.
Yeah, and then Jalen Hayward from UCF. It's just weird. I think the last one was NCAA 15, so I wasn't playing that too much, but it's just weird that you can play as your friends in a video game. It's just feels surreal.
And on the Madden game, there's enough NFL players from around here also. Just super cool what's going on with all those guys. Big question. This is a pivotal. It's going to tell me what kind of person you are. Who's the GOAT when it comes to basketball? Be careful how you answer.
Michael Jordan is the GOAT. It's undisputed. Michael Jordan is the GOAT.
We are raising these kids right in Vieira. He knows.
Not. LeBron could win 2 more, 3 more, which won't happen. 2 or 3 more.
Be careful. What's the chance LeBron might watch this? 0-0.
We'll see what 321Sportscast can do.
All right, man. Well, we're going to tag him. We're going to call him out. We're not going to call Bronny out. That's not fair. I like Bronny. I'm a fan. Wish he would have stayed in college. What do you think about Bronny?
I think he should have stayed in college. He had a crazy, I guess you'd say, injury with his heart. He was on limited minutes all year. I don't know why he would go in the draft. Obviously we know I'm sure he was pushed by his dad maybe a little bit to enter the draft so they could play together, but I think he deserved more time in college for sure.
Financially, I think the Lakers already did very well. for what they pay him, and then the jersey sales and shirt sales. I think they did very well. In closing, anybody you want to give a shout out to that's been there in your corner that's helped you along this way?
I mean, for sure, my parents. There's been some times where it's like basketball hasn't been great, and they have always told me to just keep going. But yeah, I think that should be it.
Hey, that's awesome, man. I know your parents personally, and they're awesome people, man, and they've given you all the ability to be good at basketball or anything else in life you want to be. So
nothing short.
It's been awesome to watch. But anyway, hey, I've been a fan. I appreciate you taking the time. I loved watching you shoot when you were in high school. I didn't get to see you much at Flagler, but we'll be following you at Lasell and see how you do. But no matter how basketball goes, man, we're excited to see where you go in life with all the opportunities you're going to be blessed with, okay?
Appreciate it.
All right, so for Tyler Costin, formerly of the Vieira Hawks, moving on to the Lasell University basketball program, I'm Tracy Rain with 321 Sportscast. Thanks for tuning in.